How's it going, boys? All right, start of year 3. Here we go. Here we go. It's really the breakthrough season here. We have to produce at least a second round appearance, or you know what? I should fire my ass. I shouldn't be the GM. I think I've provided our coach with the right amount of players that he can do to get something done here. I mean, we have a great first, second line. We have grinders. Our goaltender is above average. I won't say he's outstanding. He's not 90 overall. He's 87 overall. But still, I think we have at least a second round appearance playoff team. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've been reading your comments, as I always do for the GM commentaries, because it's great. What's his name? Tubert? Tell me if I'm saying that. Colton Tubert. And a lot of you guys been saying, Johnny, what the hell are you thinking? Ryan Clough is not worth 5.2. I agree. But listen, when you guys are judging Ryan Clough, you're judging him by this year's Ryan Clough. This is 2 years away from now. So you know what? He might get better. He might jack up that price to 5.2. And you know what? Money doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I'm the GM, but I don't have to worry about, hang on a second, Tony Lidman, defenseman, 1 year at 1.9. Hang on a second. This is interesting. He's not bad defensive awareness. You know what? The only reason I'm thinking about this is just because he's a year left is 1 year, and he can be in my minors if someone gets injured. Not a bad little price to play. A price to pay. What am I saying? Yes, I'm going to place this player in my minors. Tony Lidman, Matt Kartner. Oh my God, another 83 overall, 1 year left. What is Jesus Christ? They're getting rid of these defensemen. Wow, this guy's more of a. Oh, he's a tough. Yeah, Matt Kartner. He's a tough. You know what? Our toughness was one of our problems, but I don't see him fitting into our defensive rotation. His overall is good because a lot of the defensive categories are weighted heavily, such as aggressiveness, body checking, defensive awareness, stick checking, shot blocking, fighting skill. So all that's up there. That's really what jacks up his overall. Yeah, even though he has 1 year left, he's just a player we don't need. So I'm going to say no. Nolan Yonkman, no. Yeah, okay, there we go. And where is he? Can we bring him up? 1 point. No, we can't bring him up. That's okay. He stays down there for now. Hopefully we don't have to deal with injuries like last year. My goodness gracious. What was I saying about Ryan Clough? Yeah, man, we don't have to worry about money. We have our first and second lines. If I have cap space, I'm going to spend it. And I'm going to put that player where I need him. We needed a third line left winger. Shane Donors, he was good for us last year, but he just wasn't, he was trailing off. He was getting old, so we had to make a switch. And Ryan Clough, I only gave him a 1 year contract. Remember that. So it'll be easy to cut him loose if he doesn't produce. And I can trade him as well. Mike Commodore, same thing, 1 year. He's 33, defensive. No, same kind of thing. We don't need him. We're pretty good for depth for defense, man. Look, I'm already looking at our injuries at the bottom right corner. I simulated to the beginning of December. Let's get the first little bit of the season done. Broussard's gone for 3 weeks. Peckham 2 weeks. Clough is back. For God's sakes, damn injuries, man. You know what though? It is a part of hockey, injuries. I mean, look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby. I mean, they haven't really felt it that much. They're still a great team. You know who I'm really impressed with? That Chris Letang guy. He's really come along. You could have made the argument that, he was only good because he's playing with Crosby. You know, you're going to get your points. But he's been playing the last year pretty much now, almost a year without Crosby. And I've been privileged enough to see him play against Toronto a couple times. He's a good puck-moving defenseman. He's small. You don't really expect it. But, yeah, I would love Chris Letang on our team. Theo Peckham's ready to go. Best lines. But injuries are going to happen, man. So you have to, I like to simulate with that. I'm the GM. I'm not the coach. I just give the coach the players. Everything else is out of my hands. Derek Broussard has returned. What's the salary cap? Okay, hang on. We have to send a player down here. Who should we send down? Lander. We'll send Lander down. There we go. Best lines. So far, Jordan Eberle is leading our team with 10 goals. In 13 games? Pretty good. We're 9-5-0. Not bad. I don't really worry about the first little bit of the season. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Oklahoma City, Teal Burns, best lines, baby. Best lines. And guess what I'm drinking tonight, boys? It's not no Canadian perfect water or anything like that. It's Molson Canadian. So if I'm stuttering a bit, you know why. Blood alcohol level. It's going up a little bit. Ryan O'Mara. Yeah, best lines. There we go. Come on, Edmonton. God damn. If I don't get a second round appearance, I might have to make a super big trade next year. If we don't make a deep playoff run, it might have to be our goalie. If I'm going to look everywhere, yeah, maybe our defensive core is a bit low. Steve Mason, though, as a goaltender, he's above average. He's 87 overall. But if I only have 5 years to win the cup, I might have to get a goalie who's at least in the 90s. Here, hang on a second. Brendan Bell. I remember him from a Leaf. We actually expected semi-big things, along with Carlo Koliakovo. But God, I won't talk about injury. Oh my God. You Leaf fans, you remember Carlo. That guy was injured every time he stepped on the ice, man. I'm glad he's at least doing something in St. Louis, but we need to get rid of him. Radek Martinek. No, don't need him. This is the thing, boys. Now we've made our team pretty much. There's not much the GM can do. I mean, if a good trade comes in, yeah, I'll take it, but I've assembled the team that is going to win us the cup. This is our team. We don't need to make trades every other year. Like the Philadelphia Flyers, the trade that they made earlier, I don't know, that was very interesting because Jeff Carter and Mike Richards, they're both very good players. I won't say that they're superstars, but they're very good, and they're still in their 20s. So it's like, you know what? The Carter trade, I think, was a great trade because you got Sean Couturier. But the LA trade for Schenn and Simmons, I mean, if Schenn turns out to be something good, then yes, it is a great trade. But Philadelphia, I consider them as a team that can win the cup right now. And to trade away a center like Brad Richards, I don't know. Just because you're not winning the cup, I think it was more their goalie than more of Brad Richards. But you know what? I don't get to watch Philadelphia all the time, so I could be wrong on that. It's interesting. Like, I like a team like Detroit, who even if they don't win, they always seem to have the same players, and they're always competitive. Like Holmstrom, Franzen, Datsuk, Zetterberg, they've been there for a while, and they're always competitive. You know, they'll have their years where they get maybe kicked out in the first and second round, but they always seem to make it back. And hang on a second. Okay, we're at December 1st. We're 16-9-2. What a great start to the season. Nothing big. The first couple months don't really mean anything anyways, as long as you don't, lose it in the first couple months. It's all up in the air anyways. Let's check out the stats here. Neuwirth, is Mason up there anywhere? Nope. Save percentage, nowhere to be found. And goals against average, nowhere to be found. So it must be our goal scoring that's winning us games here. Points, Sedin, 40, leading the league. Edmonton, nowhere to be found. It looks like Vancouver and Anaheim, and New Jersey for that sake, are really tearing it up. Parise and Kovalchuk actually getting points. Yeah, right. Those two, I'm sorry, they just do not have chemistry together. I'll leave it at that. Wins, Mason. There we go. He's 16 wins. All right, so he's at least up there for wins. Assists, are we up there? Nowhere to be found. Goals, are we up there? Nowhere to be found. Rick Nash has 13 goals, but off the top 8 chart, but that's okay. I don't really care about individual stats. I care about winning. The Eastern Conference looks like that. Buffalo leading the league. And the Western Conference, we're in a good position. We're in 5th. We're only 7 points out of 1st. You know what? It's the early season. It's okay. We're 16-11. How much time left we got on this video? Where can we go next? We got 2 minutes left. Yeah, we'll simulate a bit farther. Let's go to the trade deadline, shall we? All the way. I feel like talking about hockey. The Leafs had a great night, I don't want to talk too much about the Leafs because this is an Edmonton GM mode commentary. I don't want to stray away from that, but man, the Leafs won 7-1 tonight against the Washington Capitals. But we won the game with all of our rookies. We got 7 injured players right now, so it's just, it's interesting. When those players come back, what do you do? But I won't talk about the Leafs. The Edmonton Oilers are another young team who a lot of people thought wouldn't be, not a good team. They have their good players. You think that they're going to get goals, but they've actually been a defensive team, which has kind of surprised a lot of players, including myself. I don't know. I expect Edmonton to trail off. I know all you Edmonton fans, I'm sorry that I have to say that. It's just, and I expect the Leafs to trail off as well. All those teams who do really good at the beginning of the season, they tend to be young rookie. Like, the Leafs are the second youngest team in the league, I believe, and Edmonton's down there as well. Those players, they get off to a quick start, but it's the veterans that you got to watch out for in the last 50, 60 games. It's just like the New York Rangers, perfect example. Off to a slow start. They have to start their damn season in Europe, which I think is a huge disadvantage to the Rangers. But they started in Europe. They had a 5 or 6 game away road start to the season, and now look at them. They're second or third in the Eastern Conference. They're 8-1-0 in their last 9 or 10 games, something like that. I mean, they're off to a great start. And it's all because, I don't know, it's just the veterans like Gaborik and Richards, it seems like that for every team. They just don't turn it on for the first couple games. I don't know what it is. Like Phil Kessel, he's a young guy compared to these guys, and he's turning it on. But those older guys, I don't know. Expect Datsuk and Zetterberg as well. Who's been a slow older guy as well? Spets has actually been he's been off to a great start. Ottawa's a weird team. They lost 5 in a row, then they won 6 in a row, then they lost another 5 in a row. Weird ass team Ottawa is. Older guy, Giunta and, who's that other guy on Montreal? Giunta and, oh my god, I can't believe it's The other guy who came from the Devils, Gomez. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. Those two guys, if they can get back to old form, where they were just studs, like when they were back on the Devils, man, Montreal, they can make a strong comeback, man. They got Price, Subban, and those two older guys. If they can find their younger form, absolutely. And look at this. We got the countdown timer there. How much time we got left? We're in January. You know, we'll simulate to the end of January, and we'll call it a show there. And look at this record we're on, 26, 12, and 5. Wow, our team is coming together. We're one of those teams now who, during the regular season, you know, we know we're good. We just go to work. It's nothing special. You know, a lot of teams get into that mode, especially our new young guns. They seem to be getting goals. Eberle, 20 goals. Nugent Hopkins, 25 assists. And look at that. Was it Colton Tubert? He's up there in plus minus, which is great. But it's the playoffs. It really counts about the playoffs, boys. We've had our 2 first-round exits. It's now time to produce in the playoffs. Zigomanis, no, we don't need him. He's on the Marlies. I see Don Cherry always talking about him coming up to help our penalty kill, but you can't argue with Don Cherry. He knows what he's talking about. So maybe at least bring up Zigomanis. All right, here we go. Come on now, keep winning. Look at these 2 wins. Shutout for Mason. Oh, yeah, shutout. Chris Russell available to play. Best lines, baby. Best lines. Oh, Cam Barker available to play. Yep, best lines. Here we go. Yeah, no doubt we'll make the playoffs. We got a good team. It won't be hard to make the playoffs with this team. Don't expect us to miss the playoffs in any of the next 3 years. It really comes down to the playoffs now. I've assembled the team. It's a good enough team. It really is. Matt Bradley, no, we don't really need him. We've assembled everything. We have depth. We're a bit... I really do want one more superstar defender. If we can maybe shop for that, but I'm not going to spend our players to get that. Only draft picks or a free agency pickup or a potential player. That's all. That's all. All right, you know what? Okay, I'll stop it here. We're at the end of January, the beginning of February. Tyson, no, we don't need you. Vatanen, best lines. And let's check out the stats here. Save percentage, anywhere to be found for Mason? Nope. Goals against average, anywhere to be found? Nope. All right, so again, Mason not the top of the league in goaltending, but that's okay. Points, are we up there? Nope. Again, New Jersey, Anaheim, Chicago, all solid teams. Wins, Mason, the top of the wins list, which is good. There we go. Assists, are we anywhere to be found? Nope. Nugent Hopkins has 30, but he's not in the top 8. Goals, are we up there? We are. We are tied. Oh, wow. Look at that. Eberle and Hall both have 27. So we're not in the top 5. Oh, we are in the top 5. Sorry, we have Eberle in the top 5, but we're not in the top 4, but we have 2 players at 5 and 6. So there, it's definitely our goal scoring, which is getting us our points. Eastern Conference looks like that. And the Leafs, wow, the Leafs are in second. There we go, Toronto. And the Western Conference, there we go, boys. First overall. All right, we are becoming an empire. We are becoming a solid team. Teams know that the Edmonton Oilers mean business. So there you go, boys. That's the end of this video. Maybe the next video will make the playoffs, but we'll see, all right? Take it easy.